You and a super intelligent snail both get $1 million, and you both become immortal. However, you die if the snail touches you. It always knows where you are and slowly crawls towards you. What's your plan? Okay, let's do this. First things first, that $1 million is practically worthless compared to immortality. Every dime of that cash cannon should be spent on ensuring that snail never ever reaches me. I keep a close eye on him. It's tempting to want to hop on a plane or train and get as far away as possible. But once I do that, he's gone. I'll never see him again until 3 a.m. on July 14th, 2072, when the sneaky little cuss slips in the door, slimes onto me before I even wake up. No, I'm going to be within visual distance of the snail, slowly moving away from it until Snail Containment Plan Part A is done. Next, I grab my phone. I call up someone I can trust with my life and tell them to come to my location within the hour, and to bring a small metal cash box, a good padlock, and a firearm. Once they arrive, I inform them of the deal, and ask them to grab the snail, shove it into the metal box, and lock it up. Once the snail is temporarily secured, I ask my friend to carry around the box, never letting it out of their sight, and to prevent its opening with as much force as required. We arrive at some reasonable figure for the service, maybe $50,000. Now we can start on the real work. I'm on the phone again, contracting with the tungsten machining service out of Willbrook, Illinois. I asked them to construct for me a hollow tungsten sphere with a small sealable opening, ideally via both exterior bolts and sintering. I asked them for a rush job and a thick wall depth, perhaps as much as a foot thick. The spherical shape should keep material costs as low as possible for a given thickness, but between the unusual object, large amount of tungsten, and speedy delivery, I invest a truly insane amount into this project. Let's say $100,000. I asked him to deliver it to my current location as fast as possible. Once the tungsten ball arrives, I have my friend stand well away from me and transfer the snail into the center of the sphere. I asked him to pour a little salt down into the hole after it, just to give the snail a little reminder of who he's dealing with. Once the snail and salt are both inside, we seal the hollow sphere with bolts. Tungsten is an amazing material, incredibly tough, dense, and heat resistant. You could drop into molten lava and it wouldn't matter, which, coincidentally, is almost what I'd like to do next. Now we can make sure the dang thing stays shut. I find the nearest metal refinery and call them up. I also contract with a heavy machinery moving company to move the tungsten sphere onto the refinery. Once the refinery has sintered the tungsten sphere shut, I buy an entire industrial crucible, those big buckets of molten iron, and the crucible the iron came in. I have them drop the tungsten sphere into the molten iron and let the whole thing maskle in place. Mr. Snaily Snail isn't going anywhere, but I'm probably down another $100,000. Now I'm on the phone with specialist movers, chartering a boat. We're taking this thing halfway around the world. We take the boat right over the Marianas Trench. Not the deepest point, but deep enough. We push the whole assembly over the side. Literal tons of once molten iron, refinery crucible, tungsten, salt, and snail slip over the side and begin dropping into the briny deep. Another $100,000 gone, but well worth the cost. Good. That's brought me a little breathing room, but we're not anywhere close to being done yet. I still have at least $500,000 left, and I'm going to invest into solid business ventures and slow-growing but secure assets. We're building a fortune, and who cares if it takes a few centuries? I'm freaking immortal, baby. But as I develop my fortune, it's getting invested into space. SpaceX, asteroid mining projects, whatever. I'm trapped on the one planet in the entire universe where I can actually die, and I have no intention of staying here. Over the millennia, I slowly apply my fortune and influence to push mankind to the stars. The moment living on another planet becomes viable, I'm on the first generation ship headed that direction. But I can't think in such short-sighted manner now. I'm immortal, and I need to think like it. Eventually, the sun is going to burn the earth to a crisp, and then that dang snail is going to be free. It might take him a few million years to land on something, but he'll do it eventually. And then he'll construct a spacecraft and begin crawling towards me again. What I care about now is light cones and black holes. Earth's gotta go. Sorry whatever's left of humanity. We evacuate anyone still on the old planet and use a gravity tracker to push Earth into a black hole. A nice big one so that the Hawking radiation will take an incredibly long time to evaporate away into nothing. And then I board a ship. A fast ship. I accelerate to as close as light speed as I can get, piloting directly away from the black hole with the snail inside. I want to be so far away and moving so quickly that the heat death of the universe would occur far, far before the snail ever reaches me. Even on the fastest ship, his freakishly clever little brain can construct. So that's the way the universe ends, with nothing in it except infrared heat, one hyper-intelligent snail suspended in an inky void, and one human screaming away from it at .99 C.